Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Neonz React. So yeah, today we'll be reacting to the best anime of winter 2023 Wants to Watch by Mother Basement. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump straight into the videos.
All that bedridden binging plus unwilling purging, I still found time to watch every single new anime of the new season in order to
I
find
don't got the time at all.
Most worth your time. These are the ones to watch for winter 2022. One of my most anticipated anime of not just
like
this year, but
this animation style feel like new and
Truck-kun
stuff.
Stampede. As one of the holy trinity.
Oh, is it the readaptation? I like the old one though. Yeah, I like the old one. It feels like the comedy is just pure gold, man. Like
incredible talent and technology of
oh wow, like
a whole new generation
that gun. Oh,
discover the
yeah, this is like the new animation and stuff.
And horrors of Planet Gunsmoke for themselves. Not to mention the inimitable charms.
Yeah,
of that
well, like the animation and stuff.
The $60 billion double-dollar man.
Yeah, like my Stampede is like very funny and stuff like the old one. Yeah.
For his purported ability to destroy entire cities.
Now that's feel kind of weird.
As intrepid reporters Meryl Streep and Roberto De Niro quickly
how did
like when they
mean Stampede okay, but like
the man himself bears little resemblance to his reputation. Thirsty killer Vash can hardly stand the sight of the stuff. In a fun twist on classic Wild West action, this pacifistic pistolier only uses his
pistol look amazing though.
Save lives.
Yeah,
and most of the
pistol look
damage
amazing.
He gets blamed for is actually the fault of the countless desperados
Everybody trying to get him.
Specific detail did matter a lot more to these reporters back when they were insurance agents.
Yeah, see this one, like this girl, like is it a copy of like, or is it just entirely new character? I don't know. But like
Meryl Streep and Millie Thompson in the original. Yeah, Orange has made quite a few huge changes to this story for their retelling, shuffling around and replacing characters and plot points to center it more
I like them like
Vash as a
they are like just like the dynamic duo between them, and like the banter is what make like truck-kun comedy pure gold.
Relatable protagonist rather than an enigmatic force of nature and source of corny jokes. This means that much of the mystery of the original has been lost in this new version.
Yeah.
But in the quarter century since its debut, the cat has long been let out of the bag on pretty much every Trigun spoiler, so
everybody
pretty okay with that. The remixed plot gives longtime fans like me a chance to be legitimately surprised again, to see Trigun's world and characters from a whole new angle.
Like, animation-wise, it looks amazing though.
Thanks to all the breathtaking 3D animation, but
it looks amazing.
Hairs. It also means that new fans of this new show can go back to enjoy the classic story and gritty hand-painted aesthetic of the original without either version feeling redundant, and that's an ideal I think every remake should strive for.
Yeah.
Of course, reboots and remakes aren't the
not like Cowboy Bebop one.
Good anime stories get another go round. It's the nature of industrialized entertainment that whenever a novel high concept takes off, it's only a matter of time until it's knocked off.
Yeah, they got an adaptation.
Usually a matter of years, not the 9 months it's been since Spy Family's explosive debut.
Oh yeah, like just pop off like the manga and the anime.
I am absolutely here for it. Even though it's very clearly the result of someone saying, man, the only way the ladies could love this manga more is if there were 2 Lloyds, and then another someone's eyes immediately turning into cartoon yen signs. It's not quite 1-to-1, obviously. That'd be boring. Rather than spies, these Lloyds, party animal Kazuki and shut-in Ray, are professional assassins. And instead of those hair thingies, their impossibly precocious accidentally adopted daughter wears goggles. But still, fundamentally speaking, Buddy Daddies does
the kind of concept is kind of like Spam Family.
Season withdrawals
post-season withdrawal. We want more. We want more.
Creative gunfights that give the animators endless
but like season 2 is already out, so
and of course a top-tier gremlin. Just look at her. Our reaction.
I'm reacting to it. Okay. I'm interested in this one. Okay.
Buddy Daddies has some real heart behind it to balance out all the comedy and action. Plus, just a smidge of darkness
Like,
to
I
make its
never understand
upbeat
anime.
vibes
How are they
shine all the
dodging
brighter
bullet
by
like that?
contrast, which you might recall me calling out in my Spy Family video last year as the key ingredient in the series' secret sauce. One that Buddy Daddies wields deftly to create something with its own distinct flavor that still
but like compared with Anya,
absolutely hits that Anya-shaped spot. If you're looking for more good vibes
now
to
this is
brighten up your winter,
okay.
look no
Now I
further
can
than
compare it
Tomo-chan
now.
is a Girl,
Okay.
the tale of a teen tomboy who just wants her best karate pal Junichiro to finally look at her as a woman. Unfortunately, the affable, rough-around-the-edges himbo stubbornly
typical
refuses
male
to see
protagonist.
Tomo as anything less than his ride-or-die bosom buddy for life, which it's
Typical
heavily implied
male
he's only
protagonist.
doing to stop himself from thinking about his buddy's bosom and making stuff all weird. But then, ironically, that causes him to think there's nothing weird about tickling her out of nowhere, so, you know, he gets hit a lot, and it's hard to blame her, honestly. Though, to be fair to Jun, a fair amount of blame does also lie with Tomo's other best friend, Misuzu, who is much smarter than the both of them combined and thinks that toying with their feelings is absolutely hilarious. It is. She's my favorite. While Tomo-chan is just about the polar opposite of Sakura in every way you can imagine, the show that bears her name has a surprisingly similar vibe and sense of humor to Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, one of the funniest rom-coms ever made, if you haven't seen it.
This feels familiar.
If you haven't, fair warning, don't expect too much in the way of romantic catharsis or closure here for
Comedy?
at least a while. It's kind of the joke. But it's a very good joke if you give it the chance, and far from the only thing this anime has going for it. With an instantly lovable cast of characters and a knack for subverting expectations in genuinely clever ways, Tomo-chan is a Girl is definitely the rom-com to beat this season, which is mighty impressive considering its competition.
Rom-com is really
and
never my
next
thing.
recommendation is a brand new Jump adaptation, Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. The story of a quiet loner with no friends and the pretty popular girl who gently prods him to come out of his shell. Between teasing Master Takagi-san, Tonari no Seki-kun,
This
Don't
seem a
Bully Me
little too familiar.
Nagatoro-chan, and My Dress-Up Darling, it can be hard to shake the feeling that you've seen this anime
I've
before.
seen this.
But
Is
the
this
central
deja vu?
joke of our hero, Junta Shiraishi, being such a nothing background character that
mob?
most people
A mob
literally
character?
can't see him and think of him as some sort of cryptid is novel and clever. And the series gets
Mob
some
character?
really good mileage out of it, particularly in its visual gags, which really sing
like
thanks to the
just like
manga's
that.
strong, simple character designs and Studio Pine Jam's characteristically fun, energetic animation. But of course,
they
the
look, the
real
animation
star
looks
of
like
the show has her
shooty.
name in the title. Nagisa Kubo, played pitch perfectly by the legendary Kana Hanazawa, is one of the only people in the show's world who can see Junta when he's not calling attention to himself. And that suits her just fine, as she finds the world's reaction to his presence, or lack thereof, and his reactions to pretty much any kind
funny,
of unexpected
yeah.
stimuli, really, to be endlessly
now
entertaining
I see
for
them.
reasons that utterly baffle our hero, and which our heroine is super coy about, yet which anyone past puberty will instantly suss out. She likes you, dummy! Between those shows and a few more in the bargain bin at the end, this is a hell of a season for lovers of romance.
I mean,
But
like
think
in
the
high
real
school,
winners this winter are
we really
fantasy
never
fans.
saw it.
Like, if I cared less about diversifying my recommendations, I could have easily filled this entire list with terrific tales of magic and monsters. And the real crazy part is, less than half of those are isekai.
Oh,
They're
yes,
not even
of course.
isekai-adjacent.
Isekai is just a
I'm talking
segment.
fully original
For
stories
some reason, it
set
never
in
dies.
fully original worlds that
Oh.
don't need anyone to get reincarnated or Alice
Oh,
in
that
Wonderland
sounds interesting.
kicked out of their old adventuring party before
yes,
they get
of
rolling.
course.
And
Yes,
there's
of
not
course,
an
it's always
RPG
typical.
stat screen in sight. The Fire Hunter,
Oh,
for instance,
now this is
shows
getting
us a
interesting.
distant and fantastical future where mankind has finally doused the flames of war, though not by choice. A horrible weapon used in our last great conflict left our entire species susceptible to spontaneous combustion.
Is this like what happened if like WW3
Thus,
happened?
to make the gears of industry and civilization turn once again, humanity has been forced to turn to a new source of energy: liquid fire. The blood of great and terrible beasts lurking in a dark forest which now blankets much of the earth, that can only be harvested by a
sounds
select
super
group
interesting.
of brave
yeah.
warriors known as fire hunters. When a young girl named Toko foolishly gets one of these hunters killed by wandering into the woods unprotected, it becomes her duty to escort his hunting dog back to the capital. A long and dangerous
this is like become a journey in
and
itself.
Vehicles
Damn.
humanity has left, but one that may well set her on the path to finding Hikari no O, the Firecatcher Lord, a fabled figure who, it is said, will one day harvest the great wandering spark that has circled the earth since the
This is like an adventure in itself.
By the Ghost in the Shell goat himself, Mamoru Oshii, and an animation style that, I mean, just goddamn look at it. It's a storybook come to life. The Fire Hunter is easily
This feel like the amount of character development and world development in it, it's amazing. I can already feel it.
Come out of the anime industry in ages. And best of all, it's not alone. Giant Beasts of Ours, as its Japanese title Ars no Kyoju subtly suggests, is set in a similar world to that of Shingeki no Kyojin, specifically before the 8 billion twists kick in. A world where humanity must hide her cities behind towering walls in fear of the massive humanoid monstrosities that stalk the lands beyond. Unlike in Attack on Titan, though, our species hasn't quite been pushed to the brink by these wandering beasts. Thanks to human ingenuity and just a smidge of divine power, granted by clerics and channeled through the blades of mighty warriors known as paladins, people have been able to fend the great beasts off and even hunt them for resources, building enough of a foothold in the process to have nations and trade and politics and whatnot, all of which are presumably complicated by the need to do them around big giant monsters. Also, they've got wars and empires and all that other fun and epic fantasy, but not so much in real life crap, which are also complicated by the presence of giant monsters. Giant Beasts of Ours gets a lot of stuff really right out of the gate, with a strong grasp of character and some solidly tense action scenes. But what really sold me on the show is how rich, vast, and lived in it's able to make this world feel in the space of just 22 minutes, all without feeling like it's rushing the main plot along or slowing it down for the sake
it's
of
setting up like,
it's just got that sense
I
of
can never like chuck and hold egg. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Even though I love egg so much, I can't just chuck
A action to match. Speaking of, let's take a break from sorcery, but not swords, for a sec, to shine a spotlight on winter's most thrilling new work.
Revenger. I saw that should react to it.
Not to be confused with Tokyo Revengers, which also has a new season this season, out now on Disney Plus for some reason. Also, sorry if that lead-in misled any Vinland Saga fans out there. I promise we will cover both seasons of that in another video very soon. Anywho, Raizo Kurima is the last true samurai of the Edo period, so loyal to his lord that even when he discovers his own father-in-law is the one working with the opium smugglers, he doesn't hesitate to bring the criminal down. Which makes it kinda awkward when said lord's opium smuggling henchgoons attempt to buy his silence with bullets, but luckily he's rescued by a group of professional revenge takers who need his help to plan a revenge heist on his old boss, and eventually hire him on as one of their own, joining them on their ongoing revenge adventures.
I checked out the trailer. I didn't know that it was like this.
Instead of conning bad people out of their money, they stab them. Born from the same mind as Madoka Magica and Psycho-Pass, Revenger
I love
represents
Psycho-Pass.
again the Urobutcher Urobuchi in his element. Intrigue, melodrama, and buckets of blood, which is always
Psycho-Pass is just
a good
all over the
foundation
place.
for an anime, and probably more than that as long as he's actually writing it himself. And as for how that foundation is built upon, well, I think the action and direction in Revenger really speak for themselves, stylistically.
Wait a second.
Rarely explored
What is
period
that? Is
it's
that
set in,
Typhoon?
the last
Not an
days of
arrow?
the samurai, when their descendants grew fat, suckling at the teats of Western empires, and began work on an empire of their own, one built in part on the back of the opium trade. Fun fact. There should be plenty of substance to back that style up. Whether you look for cool, dumb sword fights
feel
or
like
cool,
Clyde in,
smart
like,
historical
Sword Art
narratives
Online.
in your
Isn't it
samurai
smooth?
media,
It feels so
Revenger
much
is shaping
similar,
up
and
to
it
be
also
the
play like a
complete
samurai.
Kurosawa package.
You know
Okay,
SL?
sounds neat, but what if you want to flip it around and enjoy some sorcery without the swords? Well, High Card, a new original anime born from the mind of Kakegurui's Homura Kawamoto, has you covered in style. At first blush, High Card's world, the Kingdom of Forland, seems much like our own, only a little more Vegas-y, or Monte Carlo-y, depending on the region.
There's a lot of them.
Regardless, it's a land of fast, fancy cars and bright neon lights, with all the weapons and tech that exists in our own world, but one key difference to make things interesting.
Power? Superpower?
52 key differences, depending on how you look at it. X
Yeah.
playing cards. Powerful artifacts which grant their holders unique magical abilities, ranging from unlimited uncanny luck to summoning a gun to turning everything they touch to marbles.
Now
that
that
last
is
one
something
is
else.
much scarier than it sounds.
Yeah.
Our hero, a streetwise young pickpocket named Finn, gets sucked into this world of X-card players when his plan to save the orphanage by winning big at the casino goes very, very wrong.
Yeah.
But as the newest member of High Card, an elite group of extremely handsome secret agents masquerading as luxury car salesmen and tasked by the king with recovering the scattered cards to restore order to the world, he might just be able to keep a roof over those kids' heads. That is, if he can hang on to his own head as they do battle with the superpowered soldiers.
I mean,
of
a
rival
superpower,
car
anything you
companies
touch,
and the
is it on
mafia.
command? Because like
High
if it's not
Card
on
is one of
command,
those
then
anime
that's
that just oozes fun out of every frame. And a perfect example of what fantasy anime can be when it's not afraid to break the mold. Don't think Isekai is just lying down and taking it this season, though, because I've got a pair of equally fun and relatively original Portal fantasies to
cooking
recommend to you.
Isekai. I mean, is it
The first
new?
of which, Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill, is perfect for when you want to lie down and take it easy. Summoned to another world on accident alongside the actual trio of destined demon
the
king
high school
defeaters,
girl.
it initially seems like Mukoto Tsuyoshi has gotten the short end of the cheat ability stick. I mean, next to divine magic and the power of the hero, Net Super sounds pretty darn lame if we're being honest. But if you think about it for even a second, the ability to exchange fantasy money for anything one might find in a typical modern Japanese online supermarket is way more useful than any of that crap
That's
when it
actually
comes to
pretty
day-to-day
insane.
life in a medieval world. And it leaves you with zero obligation to fight any demons or save that world.
Wow,
Assuming
it's
that
look
even is
beautiful.
the hero's
It
real
look like
job and the
yummy.
corpulent, jewel-encrusted monarch who summoned them isn't just using them as political pawns to enrich his own kingdom, which it super-duper seems like he is. So just to be safe, as soon as he's out of the castle, Mukoda makes a beeline for the nearest border before it closes. The first step in a long and lackadaisical journey that's sure to be interrupted with countless shots of unfathomably succulent anime food porn and filled end-to-end with cozy JRPG hangout vibes. Relaxing, funny, and thoroughly wholesome with a surprisingly sharp mind for politics on its shoulders. Even when it comes to isekai, fantasy fans are eating this winter in more ways than one. But my favorite new flavor of this season, the magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady, has all that and more.
Way too long.
A genuinely original, seriously clever premise, and I don't just mean for an isekai. It doesn't
Is
even let on
Isekai
that it
original
is an isekai
at this point?
instead trusting its audience to figure it out from how the characters interact. Reincarnated into a world of wonder from her old life as a fantasy-loving otaku, yet denied her dream of flight as the one member of the royal family who doesn't have an ounce of magical talent,
Oh
the
wow,
brave
she's
and
using
brash
every trick
Princess
in the book.
Anisfia finds
She's
another
really using
way,
trick every in the
leveraging
book.
her knowledge of modern earthly
Yeah,
science
modern,
in
okay.
conjunction with her family's vast magical resources. She's able to
Using,
develop
like,
a
power?
new field of study called magicology, which has the potential to bring power to the people
Totally,
like
yeah.
this world has never seen before.
that.
But that potential is only realized when her life becomes intertwined with Euphelia Magenta, a magically gifted genius debutante who was betrothed to her brother, Prince Algard,
Wait a
before
second.
he tried to frame her for several different crimes and call
Wait a
off
s-
their marriage so he can hook up with a commoner. Just
Wait, what?
like one of my Japanese otomes,
Wait,
which
wait,
really sucks for Euphelia, but ultimately only frees her up to lend her incredible magical mind and reputation to Anisfia's world-shaken research. And also to, I mean, you can see how these girls are blushing at each other. I don't gotta tell you what the anime
yeah,
this is.
okay.
Honestly, though, it's the magic science shit that I'm here for. And if this animation
Not the
team
other
can
thing?
keep delivering
I'm
those
really not so sure
incredible
about that, my
Sakuga
guy.
payoffs to Euphelia and Anisfia's magic inventing and adventuring,
But why is
I
it-
think I'll
okay,
be
maybe
here
it's
for 12
monster.
straight episodes, pretty much no matter what the rest of the anime does. I do hope that their revolution
Oh, yeah,
also
he's, like,
involves changing
referencing-
this stuffy aristocratic society's
Yeah,
minds about
okay, I know
girls
what it is,
kissing
yeah.
and getting
He's
married and
referencing-
stuff, though, because
Yeah,
they're nice
okay.
kids and they deserve the best, as do you, which is why I just gave it to you. Those were the ones to watch for winter 2023. But as usual, they're not the only shows worth watching this season, if you don't mind a few minor defects, so let's go rooting through the bargain bin. If you have any kind of passion for great animation and also a very, 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 very strong
Really?
tolerance for anime bullshit, Onimai, the story of a 20-something
it
otaku
seems like I'm
shut-in
not
whose
in-
super
I'm not
scientist
into
sister
this.
turns him into a middle school girl to cure his depression is
Wait, what?
easily one of the most uniquely gorgeous anime I've ever seen. And the
Yeah,
story is
animation,
actually
okay,
super
amazing,
wholesome,
like,
too,
pretty,
once you
like,
get
a
past
new
all the bullshit.
artistic style
Just
in it.
be forewarned, there's a lot of bullshit. On the flip side, if you want something bullshit-free and don't mind some rough edges to the animation production, Ippon again portrays an all-girls high school judo club with some remarkably naturalistic dialogue. That's also a quality I was surprised to find in Unite Up. I'm not normally into male idol anime at all, but this one has an invigorating, believe-in-yourself sort of shonen sports vibe about
A
it
team?
that
Okay.
goes a long way to offset all the male idoliness and actually got my blood pumping in a few places. Or if you're sick of shows about teenagers and want something more adult,
adult
the
one.
Ice Guy and his cool colleague offers mature workplace romance in the vein of Wodokoi with a fun, fantastical twist. Speaking of, as I said earlier, quite a few great
Was that fantasy?
anime just barely missed the cut this winter, including Kaina of the Great Snow Sea, an original story from Polygon Pictures reminiscent of Miyazaki's Nausicaa, with some of the most breathtaking and imaginative environments you'll see
Like,
all
the world
year.
building, okay,
Then there's
wow,
Sugar
the
Apple
world building,
Fairy Tale,
okay.
the story of a young
For a
and
second there, I
naive
thought it was
wannabe
fairy tale.
candy
For a
chef
second there.
trying to navigate a dark and surprisingly dangerous world where fairies have been enslaved by mankind. By a similar token, Tale of Outcasts follows a Victorian orphan.
I mean, like, there's a
who's
lot of,
saved
like,
from
new
a
stuff
short
coming
life of
out.
torture
It's
and
pretty
servitude
amazing.
by an unusually friendly demon. On the isekai
Oh.
front, Handyman Saito and
A lot of like new
Another
isekai
World
and
is a
stuff, and not
charming,
just like a lot of the
character-driven
generic
RPG
on like in
parody comedy
2022.
with an earthy, painterly art style that feels distinctly Tolkien-esque. And Endo and Kobayashi Live, the latest on tsundere villainess Lisa Locke, features one of the most unique and clever framing devices I've seen in an isekai. Two friends discover that the main love interest in their favorite fantasy dating sim can somehow hear their Let's Play commentary on the game's story, allowing them to change that story through him in order to save the doomed villainess who is both of their favorite character. As for I Can't Believe It's Not
What? That's entirely new premise.
Reborn to Master the Blade, from Hero King to Extraordinary Squire, is similar to a lot of other anime with similar titles, and with the Misfit at Demon King Academy back, I'm not exactly excited for a game of the same name into some of the most breathtakingly beautiful action sakuga
It
out
looked
there.
amazing.
Near fans will definitely love this anime, but unfortunately, with the way it's paced and structured, if you're not a fan already, it gives you very little reason to start caring
I have
about
never played the game, so
and its use of in-game models for CGI looks just plain ugly.
I feel that Isekai just got entirely updated. There's some new stuff going on and not just generic one, the same. So yeah, click here to watch more of my content. Goodbye.